Hey guys, what's up? It's Schla, and today I'm coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides with Schla. And that's all we got for tonight. I don't know what I'm doing. And I actually have thought about a few things I wanted to get into this episode. And I'm forgetting the first thing, and now I'm remembering the second thing. So I'll just go with the second thing. You know, for a long time, I felt like I had social anxiety. And in some ways, I probably still do. Although, I think the older I've gotten and the more I've thought about it and been in social experiences with people, I don't think I have social anxiety for the same reasons as most people do. It's not like I don't know what to say, because I do know what to say. I love talking. I think a lot of people with social anxiety, it may be out of a nervousness or a shyness, but I love talking, so it never really made a lot of sense to me. And the older I've gotten, I've kind of understood. I think it has more to do with a conflict of topic. I really do. I think a lot of the things I think of and I want to talk about, and you can see this on this podcast, it's just very deep. It's very complicated things that a lot of people probably just don't have knowledge in, nor really would have any interest in anyways. And that's all good, It's not like everybody's got to be like me or anything like that, right? But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of the gist of where I'm at with that. That's the gist of it. Sorry, did I not even explain that? I'm doing driving stuff and I'm kind of in an odd mood. I just kind of felt like I was doing the thinking about the past thing and thinking I'm not doing good enough again. And I guess I was just feeling kind of upset. Really right out of nowhere at the end of the day. I don't know. I don't know why I keep harping on that so much, Because that's my one thing that I would say to my past self is to not do that and to just try to enjoy. And so I just don't know, like, would my future self be saying the same thing to my past self now? You know what I mean? I just don't know. So it's sad, it's weird. It really is. But I just think there's always that inclination that things need to be serious or I have to be focused or something like that. We're talking about my alleged social anxiety. It just has to do with a mismatch of what I would want to talk about and how I've heard it. I've tried talking to my coworkers before, and sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's cool, but a lot of times it just seems like they don't really get a lot of the things I say. And I've learned my lesson about pushing it. I've learned my lesson. because I used to be pretty open about a lot of topics, and it would come, oh, you're giving me unsolicited advice. That was a shocker for me. Not because of a lack of etiquette, and not that my intention was unsolicited advice. It's just that I like to be informed. I like to learn things. And I learn a lot of things that are bad because I want to know not to do them. And I guess I just assumed fairly naively that everybody else operates similarly, but they don't. Most people apparently do not engage in that kind of behavior, which was pretty shocking to me, I guess. Like, it's just hard for me even now to wrap my head around that. Sorry, there was just a car in the middle of the road, and it's not good timing because I feel foggy anyway. Whereas it's weird because right before the end of the day, I felt like I was going to be talking a lot and doing a lot, you know? And I don't know what happened. Again, like right at the end of the day, I just... I don't know. I guess I really have to stop being so hard on myself. It's just not good. I don't know. I don't know why I've always been like that. So we're talking about anxiety. Let's try to finish a complete... I don't even remember where I was at with that, though. That's the thing. It's a discrepancy in the depth of conversation. I've tried talking to my coworkers before. Sometimes it is fun. And then I feel like they don't really understand what I'm saying. You know, and then it feels like silly for me. I think, you know, why did I even bother saying that, you know? And I just don't think that's something a lot of people go through, because a lot of people are happy to talk about the weather. And I don't mind the weather too much, but I don't know. I guess I've always been inclined, because I'm aware of a lot of the problems in the world, and I know how many important things need to be talked about. I'm always thinking like that. I'm thinking, you know, we can't talk about the weather right now. We need to be talking about some of the more pressing issues. And I don't think I'm wrong for having that take. I don't. But it doesn't seem to matter because I can't do anything about it anyway. I mean, I guess it's possible I could, but I just don't think it matters. And so I feel like I'm in that place. Even now, I feel like right now I'm talking in a tiny cave, you know, and I have a blanket on, and I'm just kind of, you know, riffing it up. But words aren't coming to me in the way I thought they would. And it's a little bit slower, and I hope that that's all right, and it's not my usual blitz. I'm usually in such a blitz, you know, but when I feel a sadness, there's no blitz. There's just no blitz to be had. I don't know. But you guys know I have the ability to speak crazier if I want to. It's just a matter of if, I guess. Just a matter of my mood, whatever my mood happens to be. It is what it is. What are we trying to get at? Yeah, so I'm aware of the fact that a lot of the things I talk about are just not particularly palatable to a lot of people. And so, I don't know, I know that. I know there's no reason for me to talk a lot of the time. So I don't know if that's true shyness or true social anxiety, because I think that would be if I didn't know. That would be if I didn't know why, would be I don't know. I feel like it's closer to masking the issue I have. It's not I don't think I'm shy. I think I wouldn't be shy if people were different. But I don't know. I don't know how people are. And I guess I don't know who I'm supposed to be and where I'm supposed to fit into all this, especially in day-to-day conversation, which is why I attempt to have this show. I think it's a good outlet. I'm finally getting something down, at least it's something. I guess I just get frustrated that it's not good enough, you know? Because even like episodes like today, they're different. They're not anything that feels particularly special, I suppose, and I guess that kind of upsets me, but it is what it is. I don't know. But it could be good. It's a different type of good, right? That's what I'd want to believe, at least. But I never know, and I always felt like I have a very difficult time knowing how other people see me or judge me. But maybe nobody really knows or comprehends well how other people see or judge them. You know, I don't know if that's just a me problem. If I had to guess, I would think a good amount of people could struggle with that. I don't know that it's just me. I don't even know how much. I guess that's what I was thinking about. I wonder how much a lot of this stuff even matters. You know how I go through all this effort to try to be as careful as possible about things, as efficient as possible with things. I'm always trying to do that. And I guess there is a reward. I guess I do it for fun, but without any real comprehension or understanding, I suppose I just wonder, does it even matter? You know, it's just kind of... But I guess I see it as a hobby for myself. And so I don't really feel particularly bad about it. Because it's just a hobby. Caring about things and efficiency and stuff, but I guess I think that I wish it was more consequential or relevant or something. I guess that's what I think. Or I would want to think. I would want to wish and think that there was more of a social component to what I'm doing. And it wasn't just all for nothing. I would really wish and hope that that was the case. That it wasn't all for nothing, and you know. I guess it's a good time to be, or attempt to be, more connected with God and what God could want, or what God does want. Having a sense of faith or direction, I think, is particularly relevant for what I'm going through. Believing in a greater good or a higher power is a pretty strong indication of that, yes, I am seen, even if it's not explicit by humans. I am seen. Something matters. Something out there sees what I'm doing. I guess that's what I thought about today too. I hope that the good matters. I do. And I'm not sure that it does. I'm not sure if it will. But I guess that's part of the whole point, right? Is you sacrifice for the good of sacrificing, not for a reward per se. Is that the idea? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Just question it. I question a lot. And I wonder if it matters, but I'll just keep on going in life, you know? So I did mess up one of the scheduled car rides with Schla for this week. And I haven't ever done that before, but it should be a pretty quick fix. It's not up yet. It's episode 91 was scheduled incorrectly. Oh, you know, this could be the 100th episode. I actually don't remember. Did I get up to 96 maybe? I don't remember what I was at, because if it was 96, then this would be the 100th episode. Kind of a dreary or a strange 100th episode, huh? Like, that's, you know, a bit silly of me to be acting like this at such a joyous time. I mean, there's definitely something to be said about the series and making it this far. I recently said in my last episode I got my first comment from someone who I don't know, and that was very nice. And I've actually been bleeding subscribers since doing the series, which has been pretty upsetting to see, obviously. It's been very upsetting to see. But the last 2 days, I have gained 2 subscribers, which is the first time I've gained subscribers since doing car rides with Schla. I'm not sure exactly why or how. But yeah, I was bleeding for a while. I think I lost about 5 subscribers and then now I gained 2 in a very short time span. I don't really see anything happening that would indicate that, so it is a little bit strange. But it's nice nonetheless. So I did want to report that. I was pretty excited about it, and I had some more humorous commentary about it, but I'm just not feeling humorous right now. I'm feeling very calm. I'm feeling very emotional. So I don't know if you guys will ever know. Well, I could explain it in a very somber way, what was supposed to be. I think I was going to say something like, yeah, and the bleeding subscribers, I mean, what are you guys doing, and something like that, I think you get the gist. It's just strange how days can take a turn like that, And my life, I mean, I have a lot to be happy about, really, I do. Especially compared to a lot of people. And as long as we find out that the hours are good to go, there would actually be even further of a reason to kind of just rejoice. It's pretty interesting just where I'm at and how far I've came and all that stuff. I don't know. It's also interesting, and I just think I'm just, I don't know. I don't know. What is there to talk about? I wonder if anybody has experience with that. Or if I probably could look up things about the type of thing I'm talking about where it's not social anxiety out of nervousness per se. Because also in school, like, I never had stage fright. I actually loved to speak in school whenever we had to. I took public speaking, and I enjoyed it. Whenever we had to read in English and people would need to read, I would always want to. I just liked it. I liked doing that. So it's strange. It's definitely strange that I would have social anxiety but also love talking. I mean, I don't think it's that strange, honestly. I don't know why I just think there maybe there's a stereotype, or my impression of things is more thinking about people who are socially anxious because they're shy or because they don't know what to say. And there are a lot of people like that. And I feel like that is the stereotype. Like, I don't think there's a lot of people. No. There probably is. I was going to say I don't think there's a lot of people who are introverts but want to be extroverts. But I actually am reassessing that statement. And I don't think it really makes any sense. So I'm going to go with that isn't true. And that, yes, there's probably a lot of people like me who are introverts and wish they were extroverts. If I really had to guess, I would assume I'm not the only one. I think there's always a grass is greener on the other side of the fence. There's probably a lot of extroverts that are overflowing with friends who would rather not have them, and all kinds of situations like that. I'm sure. But I would still assume that most people who are shy or socially anxious are probably that way, and they're they're just like that. I mean, I don't know. I guess, wow, I mean, even just in the 2 months of recording this show, there's obviously been pretty radical difference in how I'm interpreting things, because I originally was saying everybody wants to be social deep down, they just don't know it. And I was about to say that some people are just happier being antisocial, which that is a pretty big conflict to my previous and initial breakout theory. So I think some people think they enjoy being antisocial, but I can't imagine that anybody actually does. I think my theory is still pretty accurate that most people definitely, like, it's just life does not make any sense without social. I can't understand what the purpose would be, even when you're alone. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't understand why people would want to be alone. I basically never want to be alone. I don't care. So I don't know why people are so interested in being alone, or like they have to be alone or things like that. It just doesn't make a ton of sense to me, and it never really did. So, but here we are. Here we are. Kind of wish I was, though. I think I would have been a lot more successful, because my words and my thoughts, I don't think they belong in conversation. I think that's something I was going to say too. And when I'm dealing with people questioning me, oh, why don't you talk more? What's up? I mean, how do you even explain this to people? They probably don't even understand and have never realized or understood what I'm going to try to elaborate and explain. I mean, most people just need a simple, quick answer. And all I really have to give is, oh, I like talking, I just... You know what I'm saying? I mean, what answer do I really have to give, you know? They're not going to get it. People aren't going to get it. People aren't meant to get it. And you just kind of smile, and they just think you're shy or quiet. Because that's the thing. I always have a long answer. And I think everybody has a long answer somewhere in their head. It's just they can't consciously articulate it. That's the problem. It's there, but they don't know how to put it into words. And so a lot gets left unsaid. And that is very stressful for me. I guess it's pretty difficult to deal with people for me, because I want to know. I want to hear what people have to say, because I say things and I know what I need to say, and it's usually all good from me. And I can tell a lot of times that people, they feel things. You can tell that they're feeling something, but they're not telling you. They're not telling you how they feel. And I don't even know if they know it in the moment. And then eventually something will hit the fan when it's undeniable, and then now all of a sudden it's a problem. That just tends to be how I see people roll. I'm not really sure how good it is. Well, it's not good at all, right? It's a whole problem, and I feel like I deal with that with adults, where I'm thinking like, what, how did you not think of this? Or how did you not? And I think it's there, but people don't like to confront things or deal with things, and it just always becomes an issue. I guess that's what we want to think, right? I would assume so. I assume that's what we want to think. But it's difficult to bond with people because I always know there's something more, and either people keep it secret or they don't know themselves what's there. And it's sad, and it causes me to feel like I need to mask and I can't say the things I would want to say. And even when we record, this is something I thought of this morning actually. You guys still don't see me fully fleshed out. There's plenty of opinions and things that would probably only come to light once I was making a significant amount of money just from this show alone, and then maybe someday there will be a full window into my mind and how it all works. But for now, I always play it safe with things. I've been in so many situations with people I've trusted, and I've given them information, and they've not handled it the way I would have thought. So I'm very cautious now. I'm always very cautious. I'm not really interested in just giving information out for nothing. And so I'm being a bit selective with this show. We'll see where things take it. But that's another interesting thing about me, I guess, is that I've already said a lot on this show, and some ideas and things I said I may not even think anymore. Other things you just don't know yet. And in my opinion, it makes me fairly interesting and dynamic as a person. You know, because most people, I don't think they'd be able to do 6 hours a week and still have secrets. And it's the quantity too. I know I'm speaking slow in this episode, but a lot of episodes I'm not speaking slow. So there's also a lot of content that I get through. I guess I do repeat myself sometimes, so there is that. I mean, that kind of inflates things a little bit. There's a lot of repeated phrases and concepts, maybe even word for word sometimes. Sorry, oh my gosh, I just blanked out and was thinking a lot. Well, I didn't blank out, but sometimes I get lost in thought, and I think in these episodes where I'm not talking as actively, it's easier for me to slip into that state, the thought state. Because I guess that's kind of why talking is therapeutic or even meditative for me in a way, is it's one of the most potent paths to my mind being able to be quiet. Now, of course, a lot of times I do think and talk simultaneously, so it's not a foolproof thing, but it usually helps. Being able to get my thoughts out is usually a very healing thing for me. That's part of the reason I'm so happy to do this show, because it's been a struggle to find people who want to talk for, let's say, 6 hours a week fairly consistently. They haven't really been there. And so in this day and age, it's a camera. Although, like I said, for me specifically, I think there's merit to me using a camera and making this widely available, as opposed to just keeping it to a private conversation. I almost think the support and potential is larger. The conversation is potentially more vast. But I guess we'll have to see when the audience arrives. If the audience arrives, I mean, have a lot of hope, but it's definitely been sluggish, to say the least. But I think with consistency, time is on my side. And I guess that's how I have to think. But yeah, my bad if this episode was kind of weird. I'm feeling kind of weird. Maybe tomorrow I'll be more cheerful. But I just feel like the weight of the world's on my shoulders right now. I don't know why. Nothing is really wrong, but it is what it is. But it's been schla, and now it's time to buy schla. So, see you schla.